Thanks for joining us back on Second Cup. Today we have Cassandra Montoya here. So thank you for taking the time to be here. And I want to just jump right into things. Tell us what you do.
Okay, so I'm a licensed professional counselor associate, supervised by David Baker, LPC supervisor. And so that means in general that I'm a counselor in town. I have a private practice called Darlin Let's Talk.
So cute. I love the name, by the way.
Yes, it's my maiden name, Darlin.
I love that.
So,
yeah. So cute. And so right now you're here to talk about an event happening on Saturday, the Rise and Thrive Mental Health Conference. So what is that and how can people, get involved with you guys?
Okay, so the Rise and Thrive Mental Health Conference, we're trying to highlight some resources in our community, groups in our community like Celebrate Recovery, Kairos, and also just, our churches and relationships, and navigate how we can deal with some of these really hard topics of mental health like grief and loss, addiction, incarceration can cause a lot of mental health issues. So yeah, there's a variety of different topics that we're going to be covering, and we have 8 different speakers.
Wow.
And we're going to have 5 food trucks, and it's going to be really exciting. If you need to buy tickets, you can go online at www.darlinletstalk.com. And it's Darlin without a G, by the way.
Okay,
I
Darlin,
didn't mention that last time
like
when
a
I was.
Texan Darlin.
Yes,
Yes,
Darlin.
I would say it's the West Texas version.
Love
We
it.
just
Like
drop
it.
the G. So Darlin Let's Talk. And so yeah, we have all the information on there, and as I said, the tickets are $10. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited about it.
Yes, no, that's so exciting.
Absolutely, and I think that's great, the fact that they put on an event like this, having that passion for it. And so kind of talk about from your perspective as a counselor here in Amarillo, why it's important to partner up with organizations like churches and Kairos and Celebrate Recovery to put on events like this. Why is it so important to focus on mental health here in the Texas Panhandle?
Well, there are so many people out there who are not getting the mental health care that they really need. And they're trying to find it. It's just that, sometimes getting the word out there is kind of difficult. And some of the services can, financially can hinder people and things like that. And so having something that's low cost like this conference to give people an idea of what's going on, $10 for a ticket isn't so bad for a conference.
Yeah.
So, having something like that, and people can say, oh, now I know where I can go. This is who I can talk to. And I'm really excited about new mental health services coming into our area. Like we have McHerCare sponsoring us, and they're a new mental health service that just opened up this summer, and so really excited about things like that.
Absolutely. And so this is going to be something, it's open for men, it's open for women, just anybody who's just interested in the mental health field. But what would you say to somebody who maybe they're kind of I don't really know if I want to go out in public and talk about, maybe the things that I'm struggling with. Maybe they feel like they need to reach out to somebody, but they're a little bit scared too. What would you say to someone like that?
Well, first of all, come to the conference just for the food, if nothing else.
The
food trucks.
Hello, and we're having giveaways, just say, oh, well, I have a friend who's coming, there's other things that you can do. I feel like we all know somebody who really is struggling. So grab that friend and be like, hey, I know you're a train wreck. Let's go.
And what's good about that too is, knowing that those resources are out there and that there is a community full of support, for people that are struggling out there. And we were talking off camera, and you've been a licensed counselor or been in the mental health field since 2019. That was almost 6 years ago, you would say?
Yeah. I don't want to think about how long ago
Which is
that
crazy,
was.
but thinking about that, COVID, obviously 2020, there's been a lot of things happen in our world nowadays. And so just to know that there are those resources out there is so valuable to our community.
Well, yeah, and also, to be a more serious answer to what you were saying, when somebody's struggling, I love that they've made 988 available, which is, if the viewers don't know, that's 911 except for mental health crisis. So being able to call that number and actually get a hold of people, or I think you can text it too.
Yeah,
yeah, you can
so
text
accessible,
it.
yes.
Yeah, so it's so much easier for people to get a hold of mental health care nowadays. And as I said, I just want people to know more about it. And I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
except I'm excited.
It's going to be exciting. And you talked about the speakers coming. Can you kind of give us a little, we got a preview up there. There's some of the speakers. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm going to be talking about trauma, so like I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, because you're a speaker.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I'm the keynote speaker, and Dr.
Wonderful.
Shanna James is going to be talking about mental health and relationships. We've got Don Cox talking about emotional intelligence, which that blows my mind.
Yes.
We've got Tanya talking about Celebrate Recovery. Deanna is amazing. She's talking about grief and loss. We've got Ben talking about incarceration mental health, and Matthew talking about like changing the narrative and the stigma and everything around mental health, which I think is such an important topic. And then
Absolutely.
Manny Manassas is going to be giving his testimony about addiction recovery, and
Wow.
it's so powerful. I heard it, like how he's going to have it last night, and like I was in tears, y'all. It's going to be amazing.
So cool. Well, you heard it here first. Mark your calendars for Saturday. You don't want to miss it. Obviously, for that information, you can go to where?
www.darlinletstalk.com.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for coming and visiting with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so of course, go make sure to check out Rise and Thrive Mental Health Conference, and also some more great information when we come back. We're going to be visiting with America. She's here with the Amarillo